Well, you can see a lot of people around me leaving the Royal Mile, heading past the cathedral. It's been a very special day for everyone here. And now, soon, in a few minutes, well, the people of Edinburgh, visitors, Scots, many people here will be allowed to enter St Giles Cathedral to pay their respects, to see the coffin of their beloved Queen Elizabeth II. They won't be able to take pictures or make videos. That's forbidden. One security official told me that it was either queuing to get a wristband to go in or watching the cortege go by. You had thousands, if not tens of thousands, on the Royal Mile here all afternoon, all day, waiting to see the coffin of Queen Elizabeth, as well, of course, as King Charles III. And at the same time, you have another 1,000 or so people since the early hours of the morning behind the cathedral, queuing patiently, because they need to queue in order to go through a huge tent, get searched, get a wristband, and then go into St Giles Cathedral to be able to make to pay their respects and say a final farewell.
A final farewell, and we saw those images of the crowds. It was packed in the historic centre of the Scottish capital earlier as the funeral procession made its way there. Of course, Clovis, all this with the backdrop of today's politics, growing Scottish nationalism, it adds a layer of significance to all of this.
Indeed, Scottish nationalism and such issues are not forgotten, of course, but all of these are on pause for the time being. It really is a national unity, and therefore all these messages from Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, speaking of a sad, poignant moment when Queen Elizabeth's coffin left her beloved castle of Balmoral. Here, very much, you don't hear any anti-monarchy slogans, messages. There were a couple of incidents today, but really isolated incidents. I did speak to people who are not particular fans of the monarchy, but who told me, we loved Elizabeth II. We loved Her Majesty, and therefore we wanted to be here, even though these people are not necessarily huge fans of the monarchy as such. Here, a lot of emotional scenes. I saw people in tears here just after the cortege went by. I spoke to a lady who was in her 70s who was practically in tears. She looked at me and she said, "Wasn't it touching? I tried not to cry in honour of Her Majesty. I wanted to try to stay as strong as possible." That's what this lady told me. I met with people who'd arrived here at 6 o'clock in the morning to find a seat, the best possible place to view the cortege just along these barriers. And as you said it, thousands of people packed on these streets of Edinburgh. Take a look. The pavement is not that wide. The streets are rather small. The pavement section is rather small. So you can imagine when you've got thousands of people packed here, it's quite a scene. The Royal Mile I'm on goes right to Holyrood House Palace, and here is St Giles Cathedral, of course. Emotional scenes, a historic moment, and all the people who waited hours to be here will never forget this.